Welcome back to Renaissance Certified Lounge. I'm your host, Samaria Kay.
And it's your girl, Amoré.
Right. So our next guest is a poet straight out of the Washington, D.C., Maryland area. At 13 years old, that's when he discovered his passion for writing. And since 2021, he has been captivating audiences around the world with his transformative and inspirational performances. Not only is he's not just a poet, he's a storyteller, he's a motivator, and he's a champion for change.
Yes, and actually in 2020, he founded the organization, the Galaxy of Poets, which is a program he created to just bring awareness about mental health and domestic abuse against men and using poetry as their healing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So let's give him a warm welcome to our guest. The poet has spoken.
Yeah.
I ain't sharp.
Looking so good. I
tried.
He came out today. He popped out.
Okay.
I had to step out for y'all.
Okay.
And we appreciate it.
Right. So let me just say, I love the pink. I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite colors.
Yes, yes. And we just appreciate you for coming through our second episode of Certified Lounge, checking in with us.
Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Awesome. So let's get right to it. So your journey with poetry began at 13.
Mm-hmm.
But you built such an impactful career since then. What was a moment in your early writing days that made you realize that poetry was your true calling?
So I would say from 13 to up to 4 years ago, when I left an abusive relationship, I really wasn't doing a lot of writing. But I had to sit to myself. You know, they say you got to be still sometimes.
Yeah.
So I was in a hotel room, and all I heard was write poetry. And I started writing, and it just made me feel better instantly. So then I created a Facebook group called Poetry in Motion, and that's where the Galaxy of Poets came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's inspirational.
Okay, so now as someone who's been nominated for Poet Spoken Word Artist of the Year twice, we got to give you your flowers here. So, how do you stay grounded and keep your creative spark alive in such a competitive space?
Man, look, you gotta keep moving regardless. I tell people all the time, I don't look like what I've been through. Just recently, last year in May, I lost my oldest son. But when you've learned how to process grief, you know that you gotta eat, you gotta keep moving, you gotta even get up and shower because that's a task when you're going through grief. So I don't allow myself to get stuck, but the most important thing, you gotta have people around you that don't allow you to get stuck.
Okay, man. And I honestly believe, it's in those lowest moments when you really, find that fighter within you. You really, that true self, that true strength is when it really comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I respect that to just keep, because I can't even imagine. And my condolences on the loss of
I appreciate that.
Yes. So you founded the Galaxy of Poets, which you just mentioned, which has been a powerful force for mental health and supporting creatives. What inspired you to take the leap and create a platform for others?
Going through mental health challenges myself and knowing how important it is to have support, and then just being a creative. My mom sang in church, my dad sang in the church, my sister. I've been around a lot of creatives all my life, so that we support each other. But when it comes to the mental health, I think sometimes that get swept under the rug because we are creatives. So I wanted to make a space specifically for creatives to go to get it off in a different way other than poetry, like actually talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. And since you've used poetry as a tool for healing, what's one piece of advice you would give to someone struggling to find their voice in difficult times?
learn how to take on the mentality of NFG.
NFG.
We
Yeah,
curse on
what
it?
we said.
Yeah, we got.
Okay. NFG. No fucks given.
Hey.
Okay, that's real though. Yeah.
When you take on that mentality, you not only are able to learn how to love you, you're able to accept others how they are, and then whoever don't accept you, no fucks given.
Yeah, fuck him. I did the
I like that.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like that philosophy. And I love that you created space for creatives to just be themselves, man. Because, shoot, we be going through it too, you know? Yes. So, next question. So, your quote, "From my pain comes my joy," is incredibly powerful. Can you share a moment where you really felt that transformation from pain to joy in your own life?
I will take. So I had another son that, because when I tell you, I've been through. I had another son that was murdered about 7 years ago, and I have a poem called "Mom" that I'm making into a short film. But this poem is basically him speaking to me and his mother saying, "Y'all led me into the streets by me following your footsteps, so now look what happened." When I first wrote it, nothing but tears. When I performed it, I shed tears sometimes, but I started to see the power that it allowed other people to release. And then I had people come up to me. "I lost my son, but this gives me strength to talk about it because you're talking about it." So through my pain comes my joy, because through my writing, it gives other people a chance to release.
Yes.
No, I really like that. That's a very powerful story. Thank you so much for sharing everything you wrote today. Of course. And our condolences again.
Yes.
And with that resilience, how do you keep your creative process fresh, even when faced with personal struggles or challenges?
I don't believe in the terminology writer's block. What I tell creatives is, if you believe that you have writer's block, write about the block. Meaning, write about whatever is blocking you. Even if you can just get a piece of paper and just start writing, it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't. You don't have to use punctuation, the spelling. Just write. And once you write it out, you'll be able to create again.
I like that because as you get into the root of the problem without even realizing it.
Right. Right. And that's the best thing to do. Like when you feel like you can't come up with anything, just write.
Yeah, and use everything around you as a muse. Like, no matter what it is, you riding a bus, or you in the mall, or you wherever, and you hear a conversation, take that conversation you heard and create.
Hey.
Turn it whatever you want to, whatever you want it to be. I actually like that because I've been trying to get into like screenplay writing. So I feel what you're saying. Because I'm at work sometimes, I'll see some scenarios and like, this would be funny. I can put this in there.
Yes. I think a lot of where, even for myself, where you feel like the roadblock is just like getting started. And like you said, just writing about just anything, what you see, you know, who you talk to, just taking inspiration from anything. That's really good knowledge, right?
Overthinking is what stops us from creating.
Oh boy, I love those things.
Drop that knowledge on us today. We got so many quotes to go by.
Okay. Right. So, you've captivated audiences nationwide with your performances. Woo-hoo. If you could choose one poem or piece to perform for someone who's never heard any of your work before, which one would it be and why?
Oh, it would definitely be "Mama." Because it's the most vulnerable poem that I have. And not only that, it also shows, because Mara's Mana, she sings in the poem. So it shows other people, and I actually like get people to play different parts of the poem. Play the mom in the poem, play the dad in the poem, and then have people around the mom consoling her, like as if she's sitting in front of the casket. So it's more than just a poem; it's a whole production. That's why I'm actually turning this into the short film, because it's bigger than just being on the stage or on a piece of paper. It has to breathe better than that.
Right. And you're doing auditions for that soon, right?
I am.
Hey. Okay. And if you wanted to audition, how would somebody go about doing that?
You can look me up on Instagram, thepoet.has.spoken. And it's posted on my page. But yeah, just get in contact with me. We do have a lot of the cast filled, but I may add more, but we do have some parts that do need to be filled and plus extras.
Okay.
Yes, I'll see some extras. Okay. Well, I want to take you back to your book. So, in As for a Champion for Domestic Abuse and Mental Health Awareness, what's the one message you hope people walk away with after hearing your work or attending one of your events?
One, be yourself. For men to embrace your vulnerability because we're human. Like we're grown. We grew up in a society that say we can't have feelings, can't cry, but not being able to do that hardens us. So if you wonder why men are so hard, that's because society made us that way. However, if the group of people around us gives us a safe space to be able to release, that's when you see like true greatness.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's real. I love that. Because I feel like it's, especially with Black men feeling the need to always be strong and feeling like their worth only comes from, material value. I think it's great that you're really creating that safe space for them.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. So, one last question. So what is the best guidance you've ever gotten and the best guidance that you've ever given?
A brother called me after I lost my oldest son last year, and he said to me, well, at least you don't have to worry about where he is, right? And in the space that I was in, I didn't accept it at the time. I was really kind of upset that he would say something like this. However, after I processed it, he was right. Because I don't have to worry about if you hurting anyone. Like, and that's what he meant. He wasn't talking about whether he's still here. And then energy never dies, so he's not gone. Physically, he's not here. But that attachment to him, that memory of him, is still there. So when I start processing it that way, after he said that, that's what makes it easier for me to deal with them not being physically here. Human-wise, you're gonna have these emotions.
Yeah.
However, if you ever uttered the words, it's God's will, or they in a better place, or that the energy never dies, and your people not gone. So you can still talk to them. They gonna find a way to answer. But so I think that was one of the best advices because after I processed it, it actually helped me heal. And the best advice that I can give is when someone say that you are strong, take that flag and run with it. Because there's people in your life that if they was dealing with things that you were dealing with, they wouldn't be able to deal with. So you are strong.
Okay. That's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
The realest quality interview. He dropped so many dimes.
Yeah, okay. Yes, you've given us so much, and we really just appreciate that. So, to be on
Celebrate.
Celebrate. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's celebration. Let's take a shot.
Yes, because the question you actually answered is one of the requests he has for his liquor. So he's always wanted to drop guidance and give wisdom and knowledge.
Oh yeah, God is my people.
Yes.
Exactly. You already know.
Y'all gotta support the Black entrepreneurs and community, man. So give it up for guys because they definitely
Yes.
Tapped in with the
Yes.
entrepreneurs and creators.
Right. So yeah, real quick, shout out to Guidance Whiskey. First, shout out to Guidance Whiskey. Appreciate y'all understand. But yeah, shout out to our sponsor, Guidance Whiskey. It's awesome to have that support and that collaboration. And yeah, on that note, what we cheers to, y'all?
Shoot, Tony, we cheers into 2025.
Yes.
We up and alive.
All right.
Can y'all tell me to follow it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Before we let you go, real quick, definitely drop your socials and let everybody know where they can find you, what you got coming next.
So, of course, you can find me on Instagram. Stop it. You can find me on Instagram, the poet.has.spoken, and the dots because I hit the spot surgically with the words.
Ooh. Okay.
TikTok, all across all social medias, YouTube. But definitely follow the Galaxy as well, the Galaxy_of_poets. And I gotta say that I cannot do anything without my team because, yeah, they do it all.
Yeah. Shout out to the kids. All right. Well, thank you again so much. And we'll be back in a little bit.